Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, the beginning of a new, totally normal week of content with no interruptions for any reason. We have some stuff to do here, we have some battles to engage in, but before we commit real hard to anything, I think I should remember to spend my warp fuel. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think I just want to buy a Doom Rocket. We're one warp fuel upgrade away from an extra Rattling Gun team, and maybe we should just take that. I don't know what the upgrade would be. We don't even have that unit of Poisoned Wind, the Regiment of Renown of Poisoned Wind Mortars this time because we're still lower level. So Warpstone Lung is doing literally nothing. And Rot Spice number 5 would be the same, but it would eventually be good. It does get us another Regiment of Renown. I'm not even 100% sure how these guys are different from the other guys. Do the normal Rattling Guns probably don't do this suppressed thing, do they? And also they're like automatically rank 9, so they have all the bonus stats and everything. Yeah, I guess we should take... You know what, though? We're about to have a big battle. Let's build a Doom Rocket now, and then try to recover more warp fuel, and we'll buy the other thing later. And maybe we'll get lucky and get the double? Hey, look at that. As ye seek, so shall you find, right? Well, it turns out we can't actually chase Balthazar Gelt all the way out there. I guess moving through this forest is a little bit much for us. So I'm just going to move... I'm going to move a little bit further in the direction of the city. I'm going to try to get out of the forest. And we're just going to go into ambush mode right here and see if he can be enticed to come back over to the city. And what shall we do with a rat? What does one do with a rat? The correct answer is love them and cuddle them and occasionally tickle them because they love that, weirdly enough. Alright, I guess you could just go and harass. You cannot go and harass. Oh, right. After a hero performs an assassination, they gotta chill out for a turn. So I guess what he can do is just go over here and, like, play scout. Keep an eye on Balthazar Gelt, but also keep an eye on the lizard men over here. Well, it looks like the Broken Nose is pushing pretty hard. Actually, the Lizardmen might be dead. They only have a 14-unit garrison. What is... So he's been sieging. It'll be 9 turns. We haven't actually talked about the surrender mechanic, because it almost never comes up. But if you siege a city for long enough, eventually they run out of food and supplies inside the walls, and they start to starve. And once the defenders have completely starved out, the city is turned over to you without violence. In practice, this never ever happens because the AI garrison will always ride out to attack you if you get to the point where they start taking damage. But it's a mechanic that exists. So he's actually not that far off, though. If there's only 9 turns left on the surrender timer, he's not that far off from the point where they're going to start taking damage from being sieged. I would love to roll over there and help him. We'll see what happens with Balthazar Gelt. We have a quest to declare war on those guys, is that right? Yeah, I mean, we may as well declare war, right? Like, this is totally free. It looks like they're probably going to stop existing real soon. Let's see. Do they only have the one settlement? They do only have the one settlement. They have no army currently. The bar is completely yellow, which means we are 100% more powerful. Sorry, we have 100% of the power in this relationship. You know what we should do? We should ask the Broken Nose if they would like it, if they would like me to join the war. We might be able to get a little bit of money off of them, and then get money for declaring war.
I'm in charge here.
Hey y'all, how would you feel about me getting in on this? Like, their likelihood of accepting my offer to join the war is only moderate. That suggests to me that we are unlikely to be able to get a lot of money. Let's try. Let's see if they'll go for. Ooh, wow, low, huh? See if they'll go for that. All right, fine. I'll just declare war for free. You know, it's a real Skaven-y thing. I have declared war. You have chosen death, they say. I mean, it's 500 gold for absolutely free, right? This won't do anything for us. But we may as well take the free money while it's on the table. Alright, so we're pursuing you. You have done all I really want you to do. I don't want him to go too far, because I want him to be in range to mess with this army next turn, if it comes to that. And then over here, we have to make a decision. It seems like they're never coming out of Bretonnia. I am comfortable upgrading this, I think. The extra casualty replenishment rate will probably be pretty relevant. And we probably want to upgrade some stuff. I guess let's what's in Skaven Blight? We do need to build some more things in Skaven Blight. We need to have a pestilent knave at some point so that we can get our runner units poisoned if we want to be able to have access to that. We are eventually going to want the technology that is unlocked by the Plague Abbey. And honestly, Plague Monks are totally good units. I think this is probably where we're going. I'm not wild about the monsters that this faction has access to, which is a shame, because in general I think the monster units are part of what makes this particular Total War game super cool. I just don't think we have very good ones, is all. And then here we have an open slot. What would I even want to do with this? I guess it could be one of these advanced recruitment buildings. We could put in a construction cavern here so that we have access to siege units from this province. That's probably a good use for that slot. So we'll just hold that open for now. Castle Carcassonne is holding on for the moment. And in fact, once the provincial instability ticks down a little bit, we should be totally fine on public order here. I'm very pleased that we're managing to hold out all right on public order, even with the the massive food problem that we have. So we probably can't just attack, right? They have a 12-unit garrison and a full army. And a full army with some pretty solid upgrades, although like a peasant mob that's rank 8 is still a cartoonishly bad unit. I don't know that we really have a move. We could start raiding and hope that they come after us, but honestly, I don't want to fight them fair one-on-one in the field. That doesn't feel like a good use of my time. We'd probably win, I guess. What's the Skaven corruption in this region like? It's at 6%, so we would not get a lot of... In fact, it's at 7%. We might not get any free Menace Below charges. And his army is garbage. His army needs an ambush to do their thing. I think I'm just going to leave him where he is then, I guess. We'll just hope. We'll just hope that our enemies become stupider. It feels a little bad to end the turn with all this food since it's all just going to go away, but like there's nothing I can do to spend it. No useful way to spend it. Alright, let's see what happens here. Constructing the Pestilent Knave also gives us access to our other right that summons a special hero. We can have him go and plant a plague somewhere. The plague... My memory is that the plague he plants is not super useful, but I also think it is the case that they buffed it at some point. So we'll try it. We'll at least give it a shot. Apparently the von Karsteins are big fans. Had a little green happy face next to the balance of power bar. We should maybe talk to them. Defenders of the Great Plan were destroyed, which is great. All these random pirate factions out here are going to be kind of annoying if we ever want to move stuff across the water, and that'll be particularly relevant like when we go after Sartosa and if we decide to go to lands southward. So we might want to fight some of them at some point. Alright, we are at 2,500, almost 2,600 income. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm looking for the opportunity to build the third army. Okay, these guys, wow, they really moved. So, you are militarily allied with Carcassonne. Carcassonne is at war with one of the other dwarves, though, right? Yeah, Jufbar, for some reason, went nuts and declared war on all the other dwarves. Just trying to keep an eye on the diplomatic and military situation to our north, because I think north is where we're going next. While we're down here, they still can't trade with me. Where is their capital, exactly? Oh, no, sorry, they can't trade with me because they're orcs, and they don't know how trading works. The World Walkers, we may as well check. Looks like that's not going to happen. The Norskins will trade with you. They're disinclined, but it can happen. The Dread Fleet, still very positive on us. It's like, if I offer them military access in addition, they're definitely going to take the offer. Do we also want a defensive alliance with them? They get in trouble with the elves. If I got in trouble with the elves, then I'd have to watch my whole shoreline. That might be too much. But given how high this is, I wonder if they would also pay. I don't know why they want military access from us so badly, but I'm absolutely willing to give it to them in exchange for, you know, a big pile of gold. Hold on, no, counter offer. Hold on, we can get some money here. I got a little greedy there. My apologies. That was a mistake. Okay, 600 gold and also a trade agreement, which will be lucrative-ish. Neither one of us has a ton of trade goods or anything. Von Karsteins are better than negative. Sadly, he does not have a way to get trade to us, which means that they do not have a port. There are two. The way the trade mechanics work is there has to be a route for goods from your capital to their capital that travels either over a land route that is entirely owned by the two of you, or you have to have a port that can be connected to one of their ports. Sadly, that's going to be tough for some of the people that are friendly with us, because they're pretty inland. So now what do I do? These guys would probably really like it if those dwarves were gone. The men of the Border Princes have not actually declared war on us yet. I think they probably will. We got positive reputation with them for being at war with the Golden Order? Okay, they're not. I was wondering if they were as well. Maybe we should push them now? You know, they're currently at war with Black Crag, which is the biggest and meanest of the orc factions. So we could expand out and maybe take some of this land. I guess the core problem here is that this does not get us closer to any objectives. There's nothing over here worth owning, and there's certainly no objective cities over there. So north is the only thing that really makes sense. Probably the best thing for us would be Ikit Claw getting up north. Let's finish off Carcassonne and then continue to march on the Bretonnians. So I'm going to position myself to underway beneath the mountain next turn. And that's what we will do. We are definitely going to take some port upgrades at this point, I think. I said definitely, and then I spoke as non-definitely as I possibly could. You know what? 30% income from this region is probably worth buying first. Then we'll do port upgrades, which are also money, but they're a smaller amount. That's 40 extra gold. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That slot will be there for a while. We will definitely get that to pay itself off and start generating income. So what would it cost us to hire in a new lord? Army upkeep will increase by 886, and keep in mind that's with just the lord. We also have to worry about the upkeep of the units. I believe the lord's pay per turn is calculated into that number. But it would not be much of an army. That said, in a couple of turns, it might be worth putting it together just so that we can have, like, a 10 stack of clan rats or something running around over here to help deal with rebellions and ward off pushes by single enemy stacks and stuff. Not an army that could necessarily beat enemies in the field, but an army that can reinforce a garrison well enough to beat armies. It is not cheap to run an additional stack, unfortunately. They would like a defensive alliance. I don't know that I think that's a good idea. I guess I could have just taken it. Part of the reason I was leery of taking that is that I didn't want to trash our reliability rating when we go to war with them. But actually, maybe I'm being silly, because who cares about my reliability rating? They saw through my ambush. Well, their army's not very good. Do we want to just go for this? We don't have any food. Melee defense down, but speed up. This is a thing that could be put safely on one of the Night Runners, since we never want them to be in melee anyway. They have a ton of archers. We have a Doom Rocket and 2 catapults. To be perfectly honest with you, I think we can do this. Their army's really not very good, and we don't have to win. We don't have to win by much. Like this could be a loss where we lose a ton of stuff, and it would be okay. Let's do it. I'm a little concerned. It's not impossible we will lose. If we do lose, it would be a shame, but it's not like it would break the game for us or anything. They're not going to be able to reclaim Castle Carcassonne with this army. especially not with Ikit Claw moving in next turn. We could rebuild a new army back home pretty easily. I don't think this is a big danger for us. Now, unfortunately, our dude here still does not have great spells, but he's a little developed. He has Scorch. I believe he has upgraded Scorch even, and he definitely has upgraded Warp Lightning. So, how do we want to set up? We want to be in a position where we can use the arrows or the trees as cover from the arrows, but where they're not going to be an issue for the catapults. So I'm thinking like having our catapults set up right there gives us range into a little bit into their deployment zone. I can move the catapults forward even. Remember, every projectile's movement is actually simulated. Arrows that hit trees do not hit people. So these trees will help us stay safe. I might try to do some sneaky stuff here. Because we can deploy these units of Skaven slaves into trees in a way that makes them not visible. And the enemy, I don't know exactly how the enemy AI works in terms of like visibility. But I do know that it doesn't matter if they catch us out because it's Skaven slaves, you know, whatever. If they die, they die. We could try to set an ambush here and just hope that it will work. You can wait in the trees with the good rats. Speaking of the good rats, let's get the triads back here. I do not want the triads in front. And then you guys can actually be set way off to the side and just use your natural stealthiness. I'm hoping these dudes are far enough forward that they'll be able to get something meaningful done, and then they can retreat to trees very quickly if they start taking fire. Alright, let's see. We do also have his personal Doom Rocket, which it looks like is more of a Merv and not... It's not quite this thing. What's the range on that? Okay, it's not super long. He'd have to move forward a lot. You guys could shoot sort of middle. That'd be great. Have this catapult aim there. Okay. The catapults are a huge advantage against these like groups of tightly packed melee. Although they are kind of low accuracy, as you can see there. Just firing into the sides of large groups is definitely a viable plan. AI was supposed to be stealthed. All right. Well, we're much better melee combatants than Bretonnian archers. Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and Doom Rocket right there. It's going to catch quite a lot of people as they continue to move forward. And this is probably an okay time to start firing off the spells as well. So if we go for an Overcast Scorch. Oh wait, is Overcasting it... It just extends the cast range? It doesn't improve the damage, it looks like? How about a normal-ass Scorch? Oh, wow, okay. Maybe we are doing the Overcast. Because, boy, it really doesn't have any range, huh? Think this will be enough of a lead? Maybe I should wait until they get close enough to start firing. Thing is, they are close enough to fire, they just can't see my units. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Try it out. It's not a big deal if it gets lost. And ballistics calibration affects a much too small area. I thought it was the same area as his leadership circle, which is why I placed it like this, so that it would benefit everybody. But it looks like I'm just going to have him fall back and do it on the catapults after the spell goes off. Hey, that was actually pretty good. Come on, hurry up. There we go. Okay. Doom Rocket seems to have done its work. Apologies, I forgot to watch the Doom Rocket. That's on me. We can also, like, when we start taking real fire, I'll just hit the concealment bombs and drop us out. Alright, I'm actually going to have... Which one of you has the banner? Is there an easy way to tell? Not really, actually. I guess you guys have the minus melee defense. Okay, so you dudes, are going into melee. I assume we're a lot faster than they are. They have 33 speed, we have 47, yeah. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll pressure the other archers from the back with them later. And I'm pretty interested in this Doom Rocket. Let's use this Doom Rocket. So it's going to just hit one unit. I don't aim it at an area. Aim it there. Let's see what happens. I hit the right... Yeah, I hit the right button. Okay, here's that thing. Well, that's alright. That's not bad. So these guys now get to spring their trap. And honestly, I think probably this is the moment to move everybody up. The enemy has come way too close. Really making fools of themselves here. We got to be a little bit careful with the Guandao infantry, but they do have some sneaky abilities. I might even... yeah, I'm going to have them run forward. I'm going to concealment bomb them right now. It lasts for 67 seconds. Let's see how close they can get before they get properly spotted. And then, you probably just run Vomit forward at this point, right? There's nothing in their army can stand against him. And honestly, even Balaquint Marsqueak is such a good name for a brainy Skaven. Even he's not, like, horrible in combat. Like, 2532 is pretty bad for a character, but he'll beat a peasant mob, no problem. We'll have him move forward at least. He got his ballistics calibration off. He has lots of spells to cast. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm gonna concealment bomb and then move. I did it while they were firing. It might have immediately broken. I can't tell. Actually, no. Never mind. You don't have to do that. Kill those guys. Actually going to have my Night Runners intentionally engaged in melee over here. These guys are going to run out. Yeah, any victory at all here is a total victory because this faction will be eliminated as a result of this loss. We don't have to win well, we just have to win. Doing his thing. Let's go in there. Catapults are still doing catapult stuff. And break off some of these spear units. We only need, honestly, one unit of Skaven slaves to chase off those archers. Start shooting at their lord. We have catapult fire going into dudes who don't matter, so maybe, like, re-aim those a little bit. You guys should probably bail out of there. You're no longer in melee mode. Actually, never mind. Go ahead and stay in melee mode. Go get those guys. Couple units of Night Runners beating up on one unit of enemy spears. Yeah, it seems to be going not super great for us, honestly. Can we get a little bit of a push here, maybe? Alright, lots of archers running away all over the place. Need you to get in there and kill their lord. I think he's the last thing that's keeping them on the battlefield, really. They have a couple of units that are still alive, but those units would break and flee if not for his presence. Trying to aim this carefully so as to hit as few of our guys as possible. Oh, there. He took a couple of seconds of rattling gunfire and he was like, wait a second, this is a terrible idea. I hate everything about this. And I'm saying he, but that's actually the Fey Enchantress, right? This is their legendary lord. Alright, I would say that was a pretty overwhelming victory. The game disagrees a little bit, but I honestly don't see how. We lost 362 rats. That's it. Their losses were nearly 5 times mine. How is this a close victory? We have 4 times their army remaining. And honestly, like, against some forces, if we were up against some dwarves or something, 500 dwarves against 2,000 Skaven is often kind of a fair fight. But these guys? I mean, it's going to be a massacre. When we go back after them in a second here, it's just going to be an absolute massacre. How much instant replenishment can we get? That's, you know what? It's not inconsequential. I'm gonna take the leadership because we get our we'll get a pulse of regeneration at the beginning of our turn since we're standing in friendly territory. I don't think we need the instant healing, and we could use the leadership buff for the next fight. So he is now also the Witchfinder General. Oh yeah, I forgot he was gonna get plus 10% casualty replenishment right before getting his casualty replenishment for the turn. While looting a minor lizardman commune, your lord finds a hidden door in the side of one of the pyramid temples. Inside is a brilliant sheet of metal carved with strange symbols. Your lord tries to stash it away, but too late, as the item has already caught your ever-watchful eye. I believe his loyalty is maxed out or close to, so -3 loyalty wouldn't be that bad. All enemies within 40 meters of this character get -5 melee attack. Honestly, I don't think this armor is all that good. I don't think this armor is worth paying 1,500 gold for. We could sell the armor, which for some reason will gain him XP, or we could copy the symbols for a considerable research rate increase for 10 turns. You know what? I think we might do that. I'll just let him keep the armor and do whatever he wants with it. We're just going to note all the symbols on the door. Okay, so his army's very nearly full health again. That was definitely the right call. And let's keep taking buffs to those guys. They seem to be doing some fine work. We should definitely get more of them. And you are level 20, which means you can take immortality. It is no longer possible for him to die in any situation where he would die. He just gets taken off the map for 5 turns, and then after the 5 turns, he respawns. He has the plot armor. Well, I mean, we push, right? I don't think we should wait. I think we should make this happen. I'm a little bummed out that we didn't find any warp fuel after that battle. And we can have at them right now. Hold on a second. Siege up. I'm gonna make some decisions about this in a moment. Where can Ikit Claw get to? Also, apparently our assassin is just leveling up off of passive stuff. You know what? Continue taking replenishment upgrades. They're always good. That's not true. There is a point at which you have enough where you are no longer getting any value out of replenishing any faster. But it's so hard to know what that point is going to be from moment to moment. I think I'm going to move our assassin guy over here, and we're going to get some more practice on... Oh, maybe we're not. I was going to say get some more practice on this hero over here. That guy's a ghost. I don't know if you can stab a ghost to death. So maybe he just moves up here. He chases the Golden Order guys. Yeah, we'll fight these heroes. So do you actually need to go across, or is this under control? There's not a strong reason not to cross. This gives us some insurance in case this attack doesn't go the way I want it to go. Yeah, this is the right thing to do. And then I'm not going to worry about money for the moment, doing any spending, because the amount of money we have is going to change in a second here. New contract. I think I'm going to just go ahead and buy in as many charges as I can here. They have walls and half an army within the walls, plus the army we just defeated. I think we have a massive advantage. I'm going to just go ahead and go for it. God, I love catapults. I love running around with siege units in your army so you don't have to build towers and rams and stuff. Now, I will say this is going to be a bit of a dangerous approach because they do, between the two armies, have a lot of archers. So we stand to lose some people as we're pushing up to the wall. But even with this pretty bad army, we should be able to take the wall because their army is so archer heavy. So where is going to be the safest place? I think 22 is fine. Where's going to be the safest place to put my catapults? Ooh, over here looks pretty good. We have to get pretty close to the wall before we're outside of the tower arc. Honestly, either side should be fine. My plan is going to be to push up this side here, set the catapults up in a position where they're outside of the fire arc of the towers, and then probably push the wall with the spears. The enemy has functionally no magic. The Fey Enchantress is a caster, but they don't seem to be using her spells at all. I don't know exactly what spells she has access to, because, you know, different casters work different ways. Basically, my plan is just going to be everybody over here. We're going to push up in a big group. They don't have mortars or trebuchets or anything. They can't punish us for grouping up. We're going to advance on the wall like this, and we will figure everything else out afterward. Except the catapults don't actually want to go all the way up there. They want to... You know what? Let's roll it forward until the tower is controlled. There we go. Now we can see the range here. Like right... Probably a little bit further forward. Yeah, because I want to be in a different firing angle. There we go. That's a totally safe position for them where they should be able to get some good work done. They'll also be taking archer fire, but that's why we're going to push the walls with the clan rats. We're just going to do it in a way where as much of our approach as possible is outside of the tower's firing range. Honestly, he can probably just, these two close ones can probably just go. There's those ones. That's what I was looking for. And we might want to have, in fact, I definitely want to have Vomek follow them up onto the wall. Ooh, they do have a paladin up there. So that's going to complicate matters slightly. They really have a lot of archers. Remember, we have Menace Below charges.
What?
Let's take advantage of the fact that the archers are already firing at capacity here.
Yes.
Get people up on the wall, and then also let's do some of this stuff. Can I shoot this at the people on the wall? Because it seems like it'd be really good against the way they group up on the walls. We could just Doom Rocket like inside the gate right now. Kind of like that. They failed to dodge. Didn't really do much damage to the gate, it seems like. Catapults are in position, and yep, okay, they are firing at the wall. Yeah, we're seeing some pretty significant morale effects already. We have control of some of the wall. Some of these clan rats took a huge amount of damage, so you can see how much it hurt us to approach the wall the way we did. This is part of the reason that I'm usually leery of doing it. Not that you can't win after doing a wall approach, but like, it's so painful, and there's usually such better stuff you could be doing with your time. Alright, I'm going to assume the guys on the wall are pretty much controlled by our melee troops, so let's focus the magic inward a little bit. We of course have the ability to summon units of clan rats underneath them, but doing so is going to cost us in terms of, while there's still enemies really nearby, the clan rats are just going to die rather than getting anything done. Here, we might be able to do some damage before they turn those knights around and get to us. But really, if they're buying us time, that's useful in itself. Shouldn't be too precious about their lives, which sounds like a horrible thing to say, but then we are villains. Alright, the only thing I'm really worried about is that paladin. There is every chance that paladin is a better combatant than our assassin, especially at this moment, with our assassin being relatively underdeveloped. I think it's likely that we don't have anything at all that is capable of fighting him. Okay, we did some alright damage. I'm gonna have our man drop back here and give ballistics calibration to those catapults. And unfortunately, it's probably the case that the paladin is going to be able to keep the troops on the wall from completely collapsing. He's trying his best to get up the ladder. I think the best chance we have of breaking him down is definitely going to be softening him up with catapult fire, and then getting our assassin in on him. I don't want to try to pull these guys right now. I guess there are horses right there. We may just want to wait on spending these guys. Alright, I think the walls are a little bit softened. Let's send in the spears. We have control of some of the towers, so we don't have to worry quite so much about damage as we approach. Looks like maybe our catapults are not willing to fire directly at our troops, which is ridiculous. Obviously, that's where you need to fire. You can see the angle that we have is not totally ideal because we're kind of close to the wall. We could, however, we could spread out a little bit more. We could move into better firing positions now that we have control of this tower. I just ordered you guys to move straight through. They might do it. Who knows? Okay, he is close enough to those guys to give them the buff. You guys work on them. Is he still not on the wall? Get up there. I mean, I think we're winning pretty obviously. It is going to be a little bit expensive, but after this battle, we no longer have anybody that we're at war with up here, so it's not going to cost us much. And this army has incredible casualty replenishment rate at this point. So you guys focus as best you can on them. Try to make sure everybody has actual targets. What is going on here? Were you guys not ordered up onto the wall? I feel like you must have been ordered up onto the wall. Honestly, we could probably move... If we tell these guys to go over here instead, so that they're not clogging the ladders, we could probably move this unit of rattling guns up onto this wall at this point. Or maybe they won't go up there? Doesn't seem like they want to climb the thing. I would love to have rattling guns posted on the wall firing into the courtyard, but maybe rattling guns won't do that. I guess how would they climb while carrying the gun, right? Let's continue dropping lightning. We only probably have 1 or 2 more spellcasts left in us. Okay, these catapults are not particularly interested in their orders. Well, I guess I don't even have to do that. We have control of the towers over here, so these units that ran out into the field are now in grave danger. But we may as well give the gutter runners something to do. Okay, we have control of that again. You guys go and help with that. Not that your help is necessarily needed. Enemy gates are destroyed, which is cool. We put 0 effort into that. It's nice to see it happen. Do we not have... We can't quite afford an overcast. Oh, I think it's 9 wins. So hold on, we'll let this build up, because I do want to overcast it. They managed to keep a remarkable amount of melee in reserve. It doesn't seem to be helping them much, but they sure did. They sure were careful with their dudes. Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to... Nope. Okay, I'll just wait a little while on the lightning. This is probably the last big spellcast we're going to get off. Okay, you can see my plan of softening up the paladin by just firing the catapults kind of near him is working slowly. Catapults absolutely do not have the accuracy necessary to target a single character. That will never work. You guys can stay on archer duty. You guys can also stay on archer duty for a while, just to make sure nothing comes back. And since we have control over the front of the wall, let's move some of our dudes up here. It's kind of remarkable, given the very, very low quality of our troops, it's remarkable that they've not been more successful in actually getting some kills here. Alright, here comes that last big cast. It did some good work, and we only hit our own guys a little bit. Also, I have to say, I'm a huge fan of these Eshin Triads. Look how fast they are. We give them an order to go kill some archers, and they're on top of the dudes before I even by the next time we look, they are always exactly where they're supposed to be. Not a thing that you can necessarily count on. Alright, the Ratlings will just harass the Paladin. They're probably not actually hitting him very much, because, you know, he's got a battlement to hide behind. But it's still probably very concerning. I bet he's not having fun right now. I think this is a good time to go after the Paladin. And they haven't actually... I'm a little surprised by their tactics here. I was kind of expecting them to leave archers down here to fire up at our dudes on the wall, but they've mostly climbed their archers into melee for no reason. So that kind of makes the extra clan rat charges that I paid for less good. A lot less meaningful than they might otherwise have been. The Paladin's about to give up. That's a good sign for us. So all that's left then is the Fey Enchantress, who has managed to regen to full, and this unit of Knights of the Realm, which are absolutely fine. Don't get me wrong. Those are not bad units. We're going to hit them with the last... Never mind. I was going to hit them with the last volley out of the Plague Claw Catapult, but they surrendered. I hate to tell them this, but probably surrender's not gonna accomplish any of the things they wanted. Skaven are not known for their mercy. Probably they're cool with promising mercy, but they are also inveterate liars. So I'm very pleased with what we've managed to carry out here with what I would describe as an army that is absolute garbage. This army is 10 pounds of garbage in a 5-pound bag. But it turns out catapults make a huge difference. So we at least managed to recover the food I spent. Again, no warp rocket. Or no warp fuel, rather. Yeah, let's just go ahead and occupy. We may as well finish our province here. They should not have marched out into the field at us. I believe the AI... Ooh, hold on a second. We did have access to this. You know, I do like ambush success chance, and I do want to build him up toward his crackle bombs. Let's go ahead and start in on that line. And you can now take evasion, so he's building up toward having Crack's Call, which is very useful. To be perfectly honest, he's getting close to the point where he's no longer going to have useful stuff for us to take. Okay, we should definitely upgrade this immediately. And now we turn our attention toward the other Bretonnians a little bit, but I'm nervous about this front over here. With the Empire and the Elves able to backstab us if we push north too hard, we have to think pretty carefully about our next moves. Here we should probably take this upgrade first. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's a pretty small actual upgrade, but it is 2 extra building slots, which we could definitely make some use of. And then... So I think we're going to keep this thing in place for long enough to... Are we going to keep this here for 20-ish turns? I'm going to hope not. I'm going to hope that we have the opportunity to replace that with something better. Like a weapon... Oh yeah, we don't really need a weapon team building though, do we? Maybe this is going to stick around. Maybe we should just pay this. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, and we have a commandment here. Let's stick to the growth commandment for the moment. We gotta rebuild the area. We did a terrible, terrible thing to it here. So, that was a huge turn. That was a hugely successful turn. So we're still at war with some dwarf nations and the Golden Order, which may push down from the north onto Miragliano. But over here, for the moment, we're not at war with anyone. Obviously, that is not reliably going to be true. We can't trust that they won't attack us. Marone's gone to war with the Barrow Legion, though. We should try to figure out what's up with the Barrow Legion. Honestly, maybe we should have our scout over here. Perhaps we could have him run around. Elves are going to war with dwarves. That's good for us. Nearby foes fighting each other. It's always a good sign. So, we just finished Exploit Criminals because I was building toward oppressive plans, right? So now we need to keep working toward record effective recipes, which means this line has to happen. So abduct promising candidates is the next thing. Speed plus 10% for all infantry is also good. It's pretty good. And we're not going to be able to make use of any of this other stuff just yet. Let's take Hit and Run. Hit and Run is a legitimately good technology, which is a thing we don't actually get access to all that often. Alright, let's next move him. Do we want to kill this dwarf? At least attempt the kill on the dwarf. Mostly for the XP. Wow, actually, odds are really bad. Is he super high level? No, he is level 4.
Poison blade.
What is creating that chance? Target's effects minus 23%. So I don't actually know why he's so hard to kill, but he is definitely hard to kill. Alright, let's pursue up here. We might have the rat come around this way, and I just want to like see what's happening up north. We need eyes. I was kind of hoping we were going to get to harass the Golden Order, but apparently we'll have to chase them a little bit further first. So that means I have no idea what I want to do with Icket Claw. It might be unsafe to leave Miragliano undefended. And we're building towards some more building slots. Once we have this completed, we should probably put in a garrison structure. Yeah. Oh no, that's right. Miragliano is the one that has the special capital building, so it automatically has a huge garrison. Well, then I guess it's fairly well defended. Let's have a quick look at our Under Empire. Over here, how much more does Angariel need to be developed? I would really like to do that thing. Doing that'll put us at 40 discoverability, which we will need to improve our current discoverability hiding technology to cover, because we are also getting 20 from the Warlock Laboratory. It's also giving us research rate, and we're slowly spreading Skaven corruption through the area, which may end up being important later. But that's an important thing to do. And then, yeah, Icket Claw, I guess we could just turn our eyes toward the elves. It'll be a lot safer for us to do things pushing northward if these elves aren't here. But also, can we get an idea of...
My hounds will gorge
Alright.
themselves upon your flesh.
Okay, guy, we just met. What kind of thing is this to say to a stranger? He is fighting one of the Bretonnians. I'm wondering if we could maybe... not exactly get into an alliance. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But I'm wondering if they would be chill while we are fighting their enemies. You can't necessarily trust the AI in this game to think that way, unfortunately. Are they on my my kill list? Let's see. Destroy the following factions. Talsin, but not the other Wood Elves. So these guys have to go. Those guys are actually fine. But these guys do have to go. I guess pushing into elf territory is maybe the next thing. It's going to be a nightmare, but they're going to be a huge pain in the ass for us forever. So we just got to do it. King's Glade is going to be tough to break, and then somewhere in this forest, I think right here, there's a huge tree called the Oak of Ages that is, first of all, the center of elf society and the source of all bad elfness, and secondly, it is one of the settlements that we have to control. One of the list of settlements we may control to win the game. So it would be nice to grab it on the way up. Yeah, I think that's what Icket Claw is doing here. So we don't want to make it too obvious that we intend to attack. Let's see if we can just hide from them. See if that number of rats can find a place to hide. And where are we at on our Pestilent Knave? Oh, that's right. The Pestilent Knave is the second one. I have to put together some money and then wait 4 turns. Then we'll have access to that. Alright, well, let's see how the rest of the world reacts to the destruction of Carcassonne. My guess is that we are probably going to get declared on by another Bretonnian nation soon-ish. Probably not this turn. Maybe not this turn. but probably soon. It would pay me 500 gold for a defensive alliance. I have enough problems right now. Where are all of those Golden Order dudes going? The Bretonnians are probing us, trying to figure out what our strength is. If we don't show them Ikit Claw, it's possible that they will overestimate their ability to fight us and come down here, and if they do that, then we could, go over there, obliterate them, and then just push up the coast as fast as possible. Bordelot is a place that has a valuable port. The Bretonnian faction that the Wood Elves were fighting has been murdered, probably by the Wood Elves. War with Taliesin within 6 turns. I don't know, man. That'll probably happen, but I'd be lying if I said I was excited about the prospect. Okay, so we don't need to move up here. I guess we'll just have him... Where I really want him to end up is in this area. Oh, interesting. Vashnar's conquest has claimed Helmgart. Yeah, we definitely need eyes on up there. Something is happening. We can catch Balthazar Gelt and just try to kill one of his dudes out from under him. This guy has a pretty reasonable chance of it working. Even if we fail, we still get XP. There's probably about half of a level. So this is the quickest way to work up an assassin hero, is just to have him attempt assassinations over and over again, even if you can't do it. And I definitely want to save some money here, because I'd like to get that Pestilent Knave upgrade going. We don't have to save a ton. We have to save more than 800, though. It's about, it was 54? So we have to keep 1,700 on hand. Is there a place where I can make a meaningful upgrade that keeps 1,700 on hand? Yes, there is. We could upgrade some docks. Okay, that seems reasonable. And then here we could also upgrade... Honestly, this scrap heap is likely to stay in place for quite some time. Oh no, sorry. We can't afford to do both of those things, though. Then here... Here I don't know what to do. We probably shouldn't spend any more, though. Yeah, I guess we'll just pass the turn like this. What are you guys back together yet? Yeah, that's right. Very, very high replenishment rate. Well, we could bring them down here and start scouting. Or, if we go and raid Bretonnia, obviously, that's going to provoke an attack even faster. They're already negative 74 against us, so they're going to attack us soon. You know what we need in the Carcassonne region is... Okay, I was about to say, we need an assassin building, so that I can recruit some more dudes who are actually good. So maybe that's what we'll do here. We'll just spend some time recruiting. Except we really can't right now. Right, never mind. I'm going to save money, we're going to get our Pestilent Knave started, then we will replace a bunch of the Skaven slaves with runners. The runners are a better melee unit, and they are also a ranged unit, so just a pure upgrade. Alright, Reichland and Lyonesse have gone to war. This is a very smart move from Balthazar Gelt, running in the opposite direction of where I want to go, so that I can't scout and also kill his guys at the same time. For some reason, Visalind is sending units after us. Ikit Claw has been found out. So, Vashnar's conquest, those guys are pretty friendly to us. The fact that they now have land may well mean... Oh. Our miners have expanded into Blackstone Post. Neat. This may well mean that we now have kind of an ally in this area. Like, hold on, let's talk to these dudes. See, we were friendlier. Never did manage to secure a pact from them. Well, maybe we'll be able to do it sometime soon. I would love it if we had a friend in this area. It's just so much easier to do stuff when you have a guy whose land you can fall back to, and also one direction from which you will not be attacked, probably. Boy, this is going to be tough. Wood elves are not an easy fight.
Protector of the oak.
They have a lot of very elite melee units, and then a number of ranged units who are better at melee fighting than most of my melee units. So it's going to be really tricky. We're probably going to need both the armies in play for this at the very least.
Spread our own corruption.
What we want to do here is just build a garrison structure. We can't get walls up yet until we hit tier 3 on the settlement, but we want to start building toward them at least.
Warlock engineer.
So if I go into, if I start raiding the Wood Elves, we will probably pay for that immediately. Who's the Empire at war with? Are they busy? It looks like they might be busy. We could probably raid them safely.
More warpstone. Now, now.
Okay, here's what I'll do. We'll move to right here. We don't have enough movement left to cross the river and then start raiding them, so I'll just stay on my side of the line for the moment in ambush mode. And next turn, we'll cross over and start making trouble. We have got to see what is going on over here.
This way.
So the Crooked Moon are surviving. They're holding on. It's weird that Carcassonne still exists. Usually, this mountain range resolves into being owned by one of the two of them, because the other, they eat each other. It's weird that they're both still around. I wonder how many dwarves and goblins have died in these mountains as they fight back and forth over, like, the two little settlements up there. If we could get in good with Vashnar, we might be able to make friends with the Barrow Legion over at Blackstone. They're not particularly going to like us, but we can definitely get a common enemies thing going with them. There's going to be a lot of fighting Bretonians for the both of us. And then they could shore up the northern part of our eastern front while we deal with Bretonians to the north and elves to the east. I do not think a straight military alliance is a very good idea. It is worth noting we are defensively allied with these guys, so we can request assistance, and also they are at war with the Wood Elf faction that we have to destroy. So we might be able to beg them into providing some support. If we can get one of their armies to show up on like the east side of the forest, that would be a really big deal for us in terms of spreading the enemies out. Okay, let's take another level of specialist here, because we can't take assassinate again yet. Okay, get me up here. I need vision of the area around Helmgart. So who are you at war with? Just the Crooked Moon. We might be able to step in and do a thing. I don't really want to fight the Crooked Moon, but I might be willing to if it's going to help us make friends. And we should just periodically check all of our potential trade contracts. Where is... Oh, you don't even have a port. Where's the other Skaven?
Approach me, thing, and beg I do not
We might be able to get there. This is actually pretty valuable for the both of us. Can we get either of the things by themselves? Okay, that'll drive our relationship up a little bit. We will be able to get trade with him, probably. That'll be really helpful. And we're definitely like in the area where it's starting to make sense to hire a third army. In particular, we have too much land now. It's going to be hard to make military moves while also defending all of this. Orleano's about to have a couple of build slots open. I'm not inclined to do these little trivial upgrades right now. I think we have other problems. We have expensive things that need doing. We should probably upgrade the garrison here in Magritta at some point. It won't really get much bigger, but it'll upgrade the units that are in it to better stuff. Storm Vermin with halberds and plague monks, and eventually a warp lightning cannon. Although honestly, a warp lightning cannon is way worse than a catapult for the purposes of siege battles. Almost all of the lasers you would like to fire will be blocked by the wall.
More warpstone.
Alright, I'm gonna, at the risk of setting off a thing here. You know what? Paravon is owned by the dwarves. It's up here somewhere. Honestly, if we push the Empire out of this part of the map, we probably wouldn't have to deal with them after that. It's not like they have a big presence over here. Yeah, I'm not too worried about what they think of this. Let's just make some money, make some extra. I mean, the food doesn't matter because we'll still be super negative. Actually, Quenelle has very little income apparently. Why am I rating for 0? Oh, because I'm still on my side of the line. Line's over here, not at the river. There we go. Reason I wasn't making any money is that I was raiding myself. Okay, so how is Castle Carcassonne holding out in terms of... Okay, that's right, public order's real good because we have an army in the area. And at this point, we can afford to start doing some recruiting. So we have 4 local recruitment slots. I'm just going to go ahead and dump 4 units of Skaven slaves. Like, these are way better. Alright, that army's not going to be amazing, but it's definitely going to be improved. So where are we at in terms of regiments of renown? Get access to these guys at... It doesn't actually show what level? Oh no, we have access to them. We haven't hired them, but we have them. And then at 23, we get a Warp Lightning Cannon, at 26, some Doom Flayers, and at 30, a Doom Wheel. So actually, his army could be considerably fancier. It would cost us a bunch of money, though, and like a lot of upkeep. Look at how expensive those are. Maybe we're not close to a 3rd army. Maybe we're just close to our 2nd army actually being good. Let's do one more cycle of enemy turns here, and then call it. I'm not exactly sure what our plan is, what our like medium-term plan is. I would love to kill the elves, but I don't see how we could. I guess that's got to be our focus for right now, right? Well, the army focus, anyway, for right now, has to be figuring out how to root out the elves. The magical forest of Athaloran is a problem, and it needs to go away. And then we can continue scouting northward with the assassin. We can maybe hire some other assassin scouts if we wanted. And of course we have a research thing going on. We have a focus there as well. May as well just grab this before we call it. Crack's Call is a very cool and fun spell. I'm eager to be able to actually use it at some point during this campaign. But I think that can be where we leave it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This was productive. We didn't... Nothing super epic happened. But this was just a nice, quietly productive episode. We have more land, we're making more money, and soon there will be so many more rats. So come back next time for that, more rats. And we'll see you then.